So, I recently got a new client.
Hi, I'm Glaze Gonzalez. I talk about things in my life that I do not the usual way. Maybe career, love life, finances, faith. Let's chika about it.
Hi, I'm Glaze and welcome to Life with Glaze, where we talk about doing things the unusual way. Okay, so today I will be sharing to you about a milestone that happened recently. So, sobrang importante sa atin to mga freelancers or virtual assistants. So, I recently got a new client. Okay, so ito yung latest, most recent. And why am I sharing this to you? Because for a while, ever since I got my role in marketing, so medyo nag-concentrate ako doon and hindi ako masyadong kumukuha ng mga clients na bago from the agency. So this one is kinda special and feeling ko very important to share. So at least if you're starting with your freelance or VA journey and ano ka sa point na you are getting clients, nagdaragdag ka pa ng clients, share ko to para at least, siguro dahil very fresh pa, at least I can impart kung ano yung mga very important things kapag meron kang bagong client. So again, this is different from the business that I have. So dun kasi sa agency where I'm working with, ang style is team. So there's really a structure, may mga kasama ka, there will be a project leader and all that. But then, meron siyang sister agency na direct to the VAs or to freelancers. Meaning, if you get that project, if you get that client, wala kang kasama doon, ikaw lang talaga. Pero, depende na lang kung what they will get is your specialty. So, if new ka here, sige, share ko na rin, my niche is actually in the podcast industry. So, podcast management, podcast editing, and all the works. Ganyan. Okay, so anong kwento nito? When I learned na merong palang bagong agency na itatayo, yung may-ari nung agency where I'm working with and it's direct to the freelancer, so sabi ko, sige, sama mo ko dyan. Gusto ko yan. Kasi, di ba, syempre, more client, more fun, di ba? And I wanted to, you know, for a while nga, hindi ako kumukuha ng direct client. It's all for my business, for my team, ganyan. So, syempre, iba yung dynamics doon. It's output-based. Walang middle person, ganyan. Walang agency na involved. It's direct to client, ganyan. So, this one, there's an agency involved, pero somehow direct to client. So, the work lang ng agency is to connect you, and then after that, ikaw nang bahala. Kasi the premise is that you're a 5-star VA, and you know what you're doing, you don't need much supervision, ganyan. Okay, so let's start. Haba ng introduction, ano? Pero sige, let's get to the point. Okay, what happened? When I said na gusto ko dito sa agency nito, kasi you will be able to somehow set your own rate. O diba, gusto natin yan. So, sabi ko, okay, syempre, hindi siya kagaya ng business ko na output-based, so medyo per hour to. So, sabi ko, okay, para maging sulit, siguro, taasan ko. Not yung kasing taas ng kung, halimbawa, direct siya sa akin, kasi syempre may agency involved, and alam naman natin, may markup sila doon. But, it's higher than the usual rate. It's actually much higher than the rate dun sa dun sa parang team thing. So this one, ikaw lang kukunan nila and then whatever your rate is, magmamarkup na lang si agency. So sabi ko, sige, para maging sulit naman to, I will set a rate na higher than the usual rate ko dun sa agency. Much higher actually. Okay, so syempre dun pa lang, medyo risk na yun eh. Kasi iba siya from yung ginagawa ng iba, diba? Medyo malayo. Dun sa ibang VA doon sa agency na yon. So, of course, I know kung ano yung mga range of rate doon eh. So, talaga namang medyo nilakasan ko ang loob ko at nag-set ako ng higher rate. Diba? Minsan lakasan lang talaga ng loob yan. Because I know then that ano ang nilalagay ko sa table, diba? So, at first, syempre, the rate that I gave, pag nag-markup sa agency, medyo mataas talaga siya. And at first, they talked to me kasi, Gliz, are you sure na ito na ang rate natin? Ayaw mong ibaba ng konti kasi baka mas mahirapan ka dahil nga syempre, maraming ibang VAs dun sa agency na same yung niche, but mas mababa yung rate nila. So sabi ko, you know what, since this is something extra naman, I have work, I have a business, I have clients na, you know what, try natin, di ba? Wala namang mawawala. Take the risk. So sabi ko sa kanila, okay lang, I will stand by my rate, kasi okay lang naman, I know naman, I'm very confident sa kaya kong ibigay, sa nilalagay ko sa table, sa magiging value ko sa client. So, I will stick with my rate. And if hindi nila ako pipiliin, hindi ako pipiliin ng client based on my rate, then it's okay. So, ibig lang sabihin nun, hindi para sa akin yung client na yon, diba? So, medyo ballsy move siya. But, yun nga eh. Wala naman mawawala eh. Alam mo yun? I know naman may value. And then, may work naman. May kinikita. Mayroon na rin namang ibang clients. So, sige, try natin. Diba? Okay. So, what happened was, at first pa nga sabi ko, sige, okay lang. Kasi kung hindi talaga, no problem. In fairness naman talaga sa mga people working in the agency, no, yung mga leaders doon, sabi nila, hindi, Mars, kaya ka naming ibenta. Alam naman namin kung ano kaya mo. So, meron yan, may client. Okay, so eto na. Merong isang client na nakita nila na ako yung sobrang sakto doon for that client. Kasi they really need guidance dun sa podcast nila. So at first, they were kinda hesitating pa because of the budget, and they said na parang, ganitong hours lang yung kaya naming i-afford, ganyan. I talked to the client, and then, so may partner kasi siya, so yung client na nakausap ko, okay naman, mukhang mong sold siya sa akin, ganyan, excited siya, and all that. But sabi niya, kakausapin niya yung partner niya, kasi as of now, meron lang talaga silang nakaset na budget. So, in short, medyo yung rate ko, medyo lampas sa budget. So, nag-usap sila ng client niya. So, syempre, it will take a while. So, I talked to the person na in charge doon. And then, I told him, alam mo, kung sakali man na talagang mahihirapan si client and ito lang talaga yung budget nila, willing talaga ako siguro mag-offer ka na lang sa kanila ng iba na baka mas papasok dun sa nakaset nilang budget. Kasi kesa naman mawala, at least mapunta pa rin sa agency yung client, diba? So if hindi talaga carry yung rate ko, okay lang. I'm willing to give it up to another podcast manager. So, yun na talaga yung ano ko. And then, sabi naman niya, sige Mars, let's wait a while and then let's see if talagang hindi talaga kaya, magsabi sila na hindi talaga kaya ng budget, and then, sige, i-offer natin yung option mo na ibigay sa ibang podcast manager. Ganyan. So, after a while, naka-receive ako ng email na they're ready to start na daw with me. O, diba? Winner! And, guys, in-afford nila yung rate ko. O, diba? Winner! So, yun yung sinasabi ko, diba? Na parang, syempre, nakausap ko na rin sila, nagkaroon na rin kaming meet and greet, I was able to talk to them, and siguro somehow sold kung ano yung value na mabibigay ko dun sa project nila, dun sa podcast nila. And, gladly, they saw the value in it, and talagang in-afford nila. Kahit na medyo mas mataas siya sa budget na nakaset nila. So, lo and behold, it was closed. So, I was so happy. Kasi, syempre, diba, kahit naman very confident ako, I was willing to give it up. And, sige, papangatawanan ko yung rate ko. But at the same time, willing naman ako kung talagang hindi afford ng client, diba? Ganun lang naman talaga yon. So, hihintay na lang ako ng client na afford yung rate ko. Okay, so after that, nagkaroon na kami ulit ng meeting, onboarding na, we will start na. So, eto, i-share ko na rin sa inyo para at least alam nyo kung paano kapag halimbawa, onboarding na. Ano yung mga bagay na kailangan nakalatag pag onboarding. So, pag onboarding is, ito na yung magmi-meeting kayo ni client and you will talk about ano na yung mangyayari. Paano na natin gagawin ng project. So, the first thing about that, so shinare ko is, alam mo na yung value mo. Don't be afraid to take that risk and set that rate. Kasi, kung very confident ka, and for example, sa akin, very confident ako na yung value na ibibigay ko is much, much higher than that rate that I give them. Very confident ako dyan. So, kung meron kang ganon, hindi naman to yung tipong parang talagang baguhan ka pa lang at talagang nagfe-fake it till you make it ka. Dahil, I'm telling you, hindi yan sustainable. If, halimbawa, ang rule ko kasi in business is always under-promise and over-deliver. Kasi dyan makikip yung happiness ng client mo. So, eto na yung isang tip ha. So, for me, under-promise, over-deliver. Do not undervalue yourself, but yes, under-promise. So ako, very confident. Alam ko, ang bibigay ko na value, much, much higher. But yung rate ko is not undervalued. Diba? Risk nga siya pero andun pa rin. So that's one. Then, onboarding na. Okay, sige, ano nang mangyayari? So, first of all, we did that. We did the negotiation. We had the meet and greet. We got to know each other. Ako, yung client, I asked them about their goals, anong gusto nilang mangyari sa project nila, sa podcast nila, ano yung mga meron nila ngayon, ano yung mga gusto nilang mangyari, and of course, yun na yung parang, sige, kaya ba na gawin natin to together? Kasi nga, syempre, kaya ka naman nila kinuha is para to add value to their project. Hindi lang para mabawas yung mga dati nilang ginagawa, but hopefully, to improve kung ano yung meron sila. So, what are the things na pinag-usapan namin during the onboarding? And I think this is very important because if you're trying to get clients right now, ito yung mga importanteng mapag-usapan nyo. Okay, so number one ay, nasabi ko na sa inyo, diba, yung rate. So, kailangan nagkasundo na kayo sa rate. Ito yung rate mo, ito yung kaya mong i-deliver. And then, close na kayo doon, may contract now, ano na yung next? Okay, so sa onboarding, you got to first review yung goals. So, syempre, na nag-meet and greet kayo, nagkausap kayo ng client, that means yung first meeting nyo, pinag-usapan nyo na yung mga goals nila. So, sa onboarding, you will have to reiterate lang kung ano ulit yung goals. Kasi baka may nagbago, nung trinay pala nilang i-afford yung rate mo, meron na silang bagong goal, tapos nung nag-usap ulit sila ng partner niya, yan, nakakreate sila ng bagong goals. And of course, syempre, take note about that, diba? So, ito yung initial goal. And then, pag-usapan nyo lang na, okay, ito yung goal, ito yung budget nyo, ito yung time na meron nyo sa subscription nyo, diba? Kasi pag sa agency, time nga siya, diba? So, for example, you avail 20 hours. So, ito yung goal nyo per episode. So, yan. So, take note of that. Diba? Very important yan na nakiklear na sa simula pa lang. Again, under-promise, over-deliver. So, talk about the goals. Okay, next is share to them your workflow. Anong mangyayari? Para ma-picture nila, okay, paano tayo mag-work together? So, syempre, special to, lalo na sa mga client na they need your guidance. So, kasi meron namang ibang client, meron na silang workflow, ikaw na lang yung papasok doon. Pero kung walang ganon, alam mo na medyo chaotic pa at kailangan ng konting system. So, pumasok ka na, ikaw na magbigay ng workflow mo at pag-usapan nyo and tweak along the way. Diba? According din sa kanila, sa schedule nila, sa gusto nila mangyari. Ganyan. So, share the workflow. Para meron silang picture, okay, ganito pala yung mangyayari. Kailangan niya pala muna yung materials ng ganitong araw, if kailangan ma-publish ng ganitong araw. So, yung mga bagay na ganon. So, if you want to know more, because of course, iba-ibang niche, iba-iba rin yung workflow mo dyan, diba? So, for example, sa akin, podcast management, meron na talaga akong workflow na yun na yung paulit-ulit kong ginagawa, tapos tinutweak ko na lang according sa client needs, diba? Or schedule or whatever. So, if you want to know more about that podcast workflow, so I have a course, podcast editing and podcast management. And of course, the link is in my bio. So, check nyo na lang that kung gusto nyong pag-aralan yung podcast management and you want to know more about it and you want to try that niche. Sige, I invite you to check that out. So, just click Coach Glaze pag tinanong kayo kung saan nyo narinig para naman alam natin kung effective pa itong ginagawa natin dito, ano? Na maparating sa inyo ang information. And kung podcast workflow lang pala, I had a webinar na naka-upload pa ngayon. So, it was live but we uploaded it sa Facebook page ko, Life with Glaze. Check out nyo lang. Nandyan, under siya sa Smart Days Academy na page din. And doon I explained yung workflows. Another thing is, pag-uusapan nyo na ang inyong mga expectations in life. Mga expectations nyo, di ba? While working together. Okay, ano ba yung mga siniset na expectations dyan? So, syempre, iba-iba tayo. You need to list down your own set of expectations and then, of course, yung client nyo rin. So, for me, ano yung mga sinet ko na expectations? Kasi, syempre, di ba, kailangan set the expectations sa simula pa lang para hindi tayo nagkakagulatan or hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng conflict. Maiwasan na yung mga ganon along the way. So, first of all, yung time. Anong time? Meaning, yung schedule ng pag-work. So, depende sa niche nyo. Syempre, pag-uusapan nyo ng client kung kailan kanila kailangan. So, for example, sa akin, dahil naman output-based to, so, hindi naman kailangan na nandun ako habang gising sila, diba? So, siniset ko na yon, yung expectation na yon, na sinasabi ko na sa kanila, okay, since this is output-based, we will have a schedule. I will give you the output kung kailan naman siya kailangan para may allowance pa tayo for your revision and feedback and approval before siya ma-publish. So, pag-usapan nyo na yon. And I'm very candor. Wow, candidly candor. I'm candidly honest sa mga clients ko. Sinasabi ko talaga sa kanila na I do not work EST hours. Hindi masyado kasi I value my sleep because I'm more productive that way. I work sa schedule ko, but what I can assure you is i-deliver ko yung kailangan, the time na kailangan nyo siya, and of course, makakapag-communicate pa rin tayo ng maayos. So, at least, naset na yung expectation in terms of schedule. And nakakatuwa. Your clients, honestly, if they're the right person, may intindihan nila yon. Nakakatuwa nga, kasi yung partner ng client ko, hindi siya naka-attend ng meeting, pero pinanood niya yung recording. Nakakatuwa kasi nag-comment pa talaga siya sa Slack. Sabi niya, "Hi Glaze, I watched the recording and first of all, I'm also a Cinderella. I also value my sleep, so I got you there. No worries." So, di ba? Napaka-understanding nila. And once na na-build naman na yung trust na yun sa inyo, nakakatuwa. At least yung relationship nyo with your client starts in a very good way na. Di ba? Okay, time usage. Since time nga siya, parang paid per hour, kailangan masabi mo dun sa client yung expectation in terms of time usage. For example, ang subscription nila, let's say, 20 hours. So, nilatag ko na sa kanila, meron akong table talagang ganyan. Nilagay ko, okay, so ito yung mga kailangan, audio editing, ganito yung time frame niyan, kung gaano ko siya katagal ini-edit, yung mga social media materials, ganito siya, yung video, ganito siya, yung mga uploading and stuff, ganito. Tapos yung mga meeting natin, ganyan. So, meron akong estimate per episode. Depende sa haba ng raw materials nila. So, meron akong parang siniset sa kanila expectation. So, for example, sa 20 hours, ganito kadaming episodes yung magagawa natin. Okay? So, para at least very clear talaga sa kanila. And again, pagdating dyan, under-promise, over-deliver. So, para at least alam nila. Kasi mamaya mag-expect sila na parang, example, ang in-avail lang nila 20 hours or 40 hours. Baka na ina-expect nila mga ilang episode na yung nagawa mo, diba? Hindi. So, sa akin, siniset ko yon. And then, magtutweak na lang sila doon. Sabihin na lang nila, okay, so Grace, ang tagal pala ng time na tinitake niyang video editing. Siguro, di muna yan ngayon. In the future na lang yan. Yung mga ganon. So, marami kayong pwedeng pag-usapan pag merong ganon, diba? Kasi, at least, nakasulat na. Meron ka ng time frame. Pag meron kang time frame na ganyan, pag naka-structure, dito nangyayari na at least malinaw yung mga negotiations nyo, diba? Alam nyo kung paano mag-tweak kasi may sinet ka na standard, diba? So, very, very important as a freelancer, as someone na very kind of obsessed with structures, with things like that. Yan yung mga bagay na mga na-build natin along the way. So, time usage. Next is, syempre, yung deliverables nyo, diba? Expectations in terms of deliverables. Ilang episode. So, sa isang episode, ilang social media materials, ilang carousel, ilang graphics, ilang reels, ganyan, 'di ba? Ang kayang i-take nung time nila. So kaya nga importante na meron kang standard para alam din. Kasi mamaya naman ang episode nila 30 minutes tapos gusto 10 reels, ay kamusta naman, 'di ba? Parang pag-usapan niyo yung mga ganon. So, deliverables. And of course, kasama na rin dito yung expectation in terms of yung bilis din nilang mag-feedback sa'yo. Okay, so syempre dahil may time frame tayo, meron tayong date of publishing. So for example, kung social media ka naman, ito yung content calendar natin for, let's say, 3rd quarter or for November, let's say na lang, ganon. Then, pag-usapan nyo na kung kailan mo matatapos yung mga materials and kailan nila kailangan mag-feedback para at least magawa pa ang mga revisions, ang mga tweak na kailangan. So, for example, sa akin, per episode, sinasabi ko sa kanila, okay, siguro yung mga 24 to 48 hours, I would need you to review it so I can have the feedback. Kung may revision, may revise na natin, and ma-deliver natin na maayos sa inyo. And plus, ako pala, gusto ko advance. Ayoko ng mga last minute na, halimbawa Thursday ang publishing, talaga namang Wednesday, nagkakagulo pa tayo dito sa mga nire-revise natin, di ba rin ganon. So, yan, meron ako mga podcast calendar and all that. So, para at least malinaw ang usapan, di ba? Yun, I encourage them na to also record in advance para mas ma-advance din yung mga working on the things na kailangan before deadline. Kasi mahirap pag ikaw rin yung naipit, di ba? Halimbawa, publishing na ng Thursday, tapos magpapasa sa'yo ng material Tuesday, paano naman yun, di ba? Yan. So, kailangan nasiset yung mga expectations, boundaries, and all that. And of course, when you talk to your clients, sasabihin mo itong mga bagay na to sa kanila in a nice and professional manner naman. Di naman pwedeng yung very ka na parang, ito talaga yung time ko, ganyan eh. Huwag naman ganon, di ba? So, there's a way to be nice to your clients, be very pleasant, but at the same time, firm din. There's a way to do that. So, yun yung mga bagay na inaaral natin along the way. Ngayon, kung natural na sa'yo yun, ang galing mo. Okay, kasi ako inaaral ko yun. So, anyway, daming growth along the way kapag ginagawa mo na to, diba? So, after mapag-usapan lahat ng expectations, ganyan, is pag-usapan nyo na ano yung mga next steps. Meron na ba silang mga na-record? Meron na silang mga plans? And gagawin mo na? Nasaan ang mga materials? Kailan ang next na deadline, ganyan. Ano mga kailangan, yan. So, kailangan may mga next steps na kayo para syempre, dun sa meeting nyo, after nung meeting, alam nyo na ito na yung mga next yung pag-uusapan. And syempre, kung saan kayo magko-communicate, diba? Tuwing kailan ang meeting nyo, saan kayo magko-communicate. So, kung saan yung pinaka-okay sa inyong dalawa. And syempre, balita ko na rin sa inyo kasi medyo nasa pangatlong episode na ako na ginagawa dun sa client na yon. So, you know, after several tweaks and all that, nun sa first episode, so napag-usapan na namin kung ano yung mga gagawin namin na next. So, okay, ang tagal pala gawin ito, hindi pala kasya dun sa time natin, i-tweak natin, ganito. Nung nalatag na, second episode, nakakatuwa guys. Kasi syempre may mga feedback nung first na parang, Glaze, i-cut natin ng konti dito. Mas snappy pa dapat yung teaser, ganyan. So, nung naayos na yon, by the time na nag-second episode kami, the ever important thing na sasabihin ng client, sabi nila, good job. So, perfect na, na-approve na lahat. One go, one draft, okay na lahat. So, nakakatuwa. And, hindi naman ako ganito dati eh. Siyempre, dati parang ang dami pa rin talagang feedback and all that. Maraming pabalik-balik. Then, after a while, diba? So, at least, na happy naman ako, na happy sila kasi ibig sabihin, sulit naman ang binabayad nila. Kasi, importante talaga yon. So, yan. Importante, happy yung client para makip sila, diba? And then, yeah, yung good job from the client, that's very important. It will give you fulfillment. So, ito na, nasa 3rd episode na kami. Okay naman, nakakatuwa. Kasi at least ang daming nangyari dun sa system nila na-improve and they're very happy. At least I know I really added value to them. And sabi nga nila, you know what, yung time na gain namin just because ikaw na yung gumagawa niyan is very, very valuable. Talagang na-happy kami, and right now, nakakapag-dream pa sila ng bigger goals for what they want to do just because they got me as an extra hand and a partner sa kanilang project. So, I hope this story na kwento ko sa inyo will somehow may mapulot kayo and mai-apply nyo rin sa inyong freelancing and VA journey. And if you have questions, oh my gosh, I am very open to questions. Just ask me. And pero bago yan, of course, help this girl out. Subscribe, like, engage, please share, diba? So, yes, and I'm looking forward to sharing more adventures with you sa freelancing industry and other stuff pa. Let me know, share to me your journey, diba? Share to me your questions as much as I can. I will answer them. Follow me sa mga social media channels ko. And yes, that's all for now. Bye!